In this demonstration, we're going to look at provisioning virtual machines in a manual pool. Now, with a manual pool, we select the desktops to include. With an automated pool, which is one we'll have a look at in a different demo, the view connection server creates the desktops from a template and customization specification. So manual pool is really the easiest one to set up because we're assigning virtual machines that we already have and add them into a pool. Now, the purpose of a manual pool is we can associate a single virtual machine with a manual pool or multiple virtual machines with a manual pool. We can then let the connection server authenticate and log in the users through single sign-on. So what we're going to do is we are going to create a manual pool at this point here. What I'm going to do first off is I'm just going to create some folders just to organize these virtual desktops into a marketing department, sales department, and so on. So what we'll do is we'll just come to the inventory page. We'll come down to our pools, and what we're going to do here is we're just going to create a new folder. So we'll just click on folder, we'll create a new folder, and this folder is going to be for the marketing desktops. So we'll create that, and then we'll click OK. Now the purpose of this folder here is for delegated administration. So what I can do at a later date is through the roles that we have, we can actually set it up so that different users can look after different departments. Now we'll create another one as well just for the sales department. So we'll create another new folder, and we'll create that for the sales department. So we'll click OK there. So we now have our two folders in place. The next thing I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to create a pool. So we'll click on Add. And what we'll do here, as you can see, we've got three different options. We've got the automated pool, where what will happen here is desktops are provisioned by the Virtual Center server on demand. We've got the manual pool, which in our case here is going to be used for two virtual machines we already have created. And then right down at the bottom here, we could have a terminal services pool as well, because VMware View does give you a unified view of everything you have in place. So we'll go with our manual pool. As we can see here, we can have Virtual Center virtual machines. We could associate this with physical computers, Blade PCs. We could also have local mode, and we're going to use the PC over IP protocol potentially. So we'll select next at this point here. And what we're going to do here is we're just going to actually create a dedicated pool. So the dedicated pool, users receive the same desktop each time they log in. Auto assignment, as we can see here, if the user connects to a pool to which the user is entitled but doesn't have a desktop, View will automatically assign any spare desktops to that individual user. If it's not enabled, users have to be assigned desktops manually in the View administrator by us as the administrators. So if we scroll down just to see the support features we're going to get local mode and PC over IP. So we'll go with the enable automatic assignment as well. So we'll just select next at this point. We're going to select Virtual Center virtual machines because I'm not connected to a physical machine. So we'll select next at this point. Specify our Virtual Center server that's currently looking after the virtual machine. And what we want to do here, in the case of the ID, we'll call this one payroll. And we'll say it's an XP machine. What we'll do for the display name is we'll make that exactly the same. So the ID is the thing that the actual connection server VMware View sees, and the display name is what the user is going to see when they connect through. Now what we'll do here is for the View folder, I didn't create one for payroll, so I'll leave it as it is. And in the case of description, just to make it easier for me as the administrator, I'm going to call this one individual, and we'll call that one dedicated desktop. So we've got that in place now. Happy with all of that. We'll select next. Now we've got some pool settings in place here. So on the pool settings, what we've got is, the virtual machine or the View agent or whatever it is you want to call this thing is enabled. If we had this disabled, nobody would be able to connect to it. Connection server restrictions is all to use with tags that we have in place, so we can specify that certain users can only access certain virtual machines through certain connection servers. Now the remote desktop settings, remote desktop power policy. As you can see, we've got a couple of different options here. We can ensure the desktop's always powered on, ensure that the desktops are always suspended or powered off. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to say take no power action. So if the virtual machine's powered on, it's powered on. It's powered off, it's powered off. Automatically log off after disconnection. So if the user disconnects from the VMware View client rather than logs off the virtual machine, what do we want to do with the log off? Allow users to reset their desktops. That should really say restart their desktops, I suppose. So we'll say yes there. My default display protocol. Well, I'm going to use PC over IP because that's the Teradici/VMware protocol. Allow users to choose the protocol. I'll just leave yes for that. Now if we scroll down a little bit more, Windows 7, well it's not Windows 7 virtual machine, so I'm not really bothered about that. Maximum number of monitors, as you can see, we can go up to maximum of 4. We can also specify the maximum resolution of any monitor that we want as well for the virtual machine. Again, I'll just leave the defaults. We've got our Adobe flash quality and flash throttling down here. So what we can do is we can control bandwidth usage. Right, we'll select the next button. And in the case of the virtual machine here, what I'm going to go for is I'm going to go for DT1 ESXi08. We then select next. Read through the summary and select finish. Right, what I'll do here is I'll just create one for the marketing department as well. So we'll just click add again. Again, we'll go for a manual pool. Again, we're going to go for dedicated and virtual center virtual machines. Specifying the virtual center server again, but this time I'm going to create one for the marketing department. Now what we'll do here is we'll just make the display name exactly the same. But this time what we'll do is we'll put that virtual machine in the marketing desktops. And what we'll do for the description here is just call this an individual. And we'll make this a desktop as well. Right, that's all done, so we'll select the next button. And what we'll do here is we'll just allow users to reset their desktops again. Select our next button. Select the second DT virtual machine. Notice DT1 is now gone because I've already made that as a manual assignment to another pool. And select next. Select our finish button. And that's all done. Now I've created these two assignments here, so we have two virtual desktops that potentially our users can use. The only thing is they can't use them. And the reason why they can't use them is I haven't entitled them to anybody yet. So what we need to do is we need to set up some entitlements to allow users to actually access these desktops from the VMware View client. So we'll select Marketing XP. We'll just come to the Entitlements tab. And what we'll then do is we'll just click Add. We're not bothered about users. We're only really bothered about groups. So we'll just go for View. And we'll do Find. We want our View users, so we want to add in our View users, and we'll also add in our View remote desktop users as well. So click OK there. And OK again. Titled, tick yes. So go to payroll, and we'll do exactly the same thing for payroll. Again, not bothered about actual users, we're only bothered about groups. We'll just do View again. Click Find again. Select our two groups. Click OK. Click OK. And now what we've done is we've created two manual pools with an individual desktop in each. We've made them a dedicated assignment, so when a user logs in they get allocated this desktop. We've entitled it now, it's enabled, so what we can now do is go to a machine with the VMware View client installed, or a thin client, or an iPad, or an Android device with the VMware View client, and then connect through this virtual desktop. And that's the end of this demonstration. Thanks very much.